Welcome to A Songwriter's Journey, Episode 6. I'm Bob Williams. Thanks for tuning in to my podcast. This is where I share the stories behind my songs, why I wrote them, and the writing process. I started writing my own songs as soon as I could play 3 chords, and I just never stopped. Today's song is one of my favorites, Will I Ever Feel That Way Again? I'm going to go over the story behind the song, how the song came together, and then I'm going to play an acoustic version of the song for you. Okay, so let's go into the song. Will I Ever Feel That Way Again? This was one of my favorite songs that I ever wrote. It's on my last album. It's the title track that was recorded in Black Mountain, North Carolina. What I love about the song is that almost everything in the song is true, which was unusual. A lot of times you have half-truths, but hey, this time everything in here is true, mostly true. And on my website is a properly recorded studio version of it that you could check out. There's also a video on my website before I recorded the song, and there's a longer version in the song, and I'm going to get into why we shortened that after I play the song. So this is just a fun song. I like this song a lot. Will I? Will I ever feel that way again? The last day the school bell rang, and the first time I ever played guitar, and I strummed my first open G chord. And the first time I ever was kissed, felt my heart skip a beat. Then we heard her mama call her in, but we had all summer I knew we'd kiss again. Will I ever feel that way again? The wind at my back and the sun on my skin. Nothing to lose and everything to gain. Will I ever feel that way again? I remember my first broken heart. She dumped me for my best friend, that was the hardest part. I cried myself to sleep, but no one ever knew. Yeah, but I wrote my first song and I told the truth. Got that 64 Oldsmobile, bucket seats and 4 on the floor. I slipped behind the wheel and I turned the key. And just like that, this boy was set free. Will I ever feel that way again? The wind at my back and the sun on my skin. Nothing to lose and everything to gain. Will I ever feel that way again? Will I ever feel the same? Okay, so there you go. Will I ever? feel that way again. There's a lot in that song. The original version, I had me burning the mortgage on the house, walking down the aisle, getting married, and Mark Moore, who produced the record, really suggested shorten it. And even though it's really not in order, that whole idea of it's kind of the last day the school bell rang, first kiss, first guitar, first broken heart, getting your first car, and the freedom of flying, driving away. I'll never forget that. When I got my, I lived on Long Island, you might be able to tell from my accent, and I remember taking the Merrick Road bus from Massapequa to Babylon, and getting my license plates for my $300 car, and coming back and being on that bus and telling myself I'll never have to take the bus again. I don't think I ever did. So that's what I like about the song. And then the chorus, will I ever feel that way again? The wind at my back, the sun at my skin, nothing to lose and everything to gain. I'm Irish, and that came from that Irish blessing. You know, may the road rise up to greet you, or whatever, and may you be in heaven an hour before the devil knows you. The wind at your back, and I kind of took that and worked that around. There was some debate whether it had a '64 Oldsmobile that had 4 on the floor. Mine didn't. It had an automatic thing there, and somebody eventually figured out there was a 442 or some Oldsmobile. The one thing about the song that I probably wouldn't do, I wrote the song in actually June of 2022, is it's very repetitious, and I probably wouldn't do that now. I would be breaking that up. I'm trying to break it up. You know, my songwriting is not complex. I'm not trying to write complex songs. I'm just trying to write good songs from the heart. So I try to kind of pick when I'm doing the verses, and then I'm kind of strumming when I do the chorus just to break it up. But there's no real rules in songwriting, and this is not a teaching podcast. This is just me explaining how I wrote my song and the story behind it. In here, the idea that you don't normally do something with the same chords just go over and over and over again. I mean, there's plenty of songs. I made a list of them, but I don't have it in front of me. But, you know, Knocking on Heaven's Door, there's a whole bunch of songs where that does happen. But it's not normal. It's okay to do. Anything's okay to do. But when I wrote the song, singing it, that's how I felt singing it, and I just couldn't find the way. I didn't really think about it. I was so happy with the song, I didn't even really think about changing it. If I was going to write this today, I probably would screw it up. So that's Will I Ever Feel That Way Again. Like I said, it's a song that I really enjoy. I like all the little stuff in there. You know, the last day the school bell rang. I graduated high school in '71. I looked it up. The Alice Cooper song, School's Out Forever, was '72. But I guess I didn't go to college, so I guess I was still celebrating the last day of school. First time I ever got kissed, it was a little bit more of a kiss, and we did hear her mother calling her in. And even though we did have the whole summer, nothing ever happened again with her, but whatever. And my first I was always a journal writer, and my first broken heart probably did lead to my first song. So there you have it. I hope you enjoy it, and see you next time. And before I go, please subscribe below, share the podcast, check out my website. There's loads of videos and songs waiting for you there. The link is coming up at the end. I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a comment or whatever, a question, whatever. I'd like to connect. I also have a newsletter that I just started that announces each episode, and I add the chord charts. So if you're interested, just send me an email and I'll put you on the list. Until the next time, I'm Bob Williams. Thanks for being part of my songwriting journey.